Hello everybody, this is Jason Roten with Primitive Life Training. Down here on a friend's property, doing a little daily outing. Thought we would talk about some outdoor safety. As you can see, everything's green here, and people are starting to get out and do things out in nature. Well, so is other things such as snakes and other animals and stuff like that. So be sure when you're out doing something like this that you pay attention to your surroundings and everything. Don't just wander into places without really assessing it first. Stay away from places that's got water, and we're right here by a little creek that runs down through here. When it drains off, we had a bunch of rain last night, so it's draining, but normally there's not no water here. So another thing I was wanting to talk about was some of the things that you might take with you on an outing like this. As you can see, on my way in, I picked up a cedar tree that was dead. And this cedar tree has got tons of bark on it that is natural tinder. I also gathered up a little bit of river birch bark on my way in for a little bit of a demonstration and everything. But as you see, Savannah's drinking some water here, so we brought us a little canteen with some water in it, so we'd all have something to drink and wouldn't have to drink out of the little creek there. But if something was to happen and somehow we got stranded down here, we got something to carry water in after we boil it or filter it and do everything we can to get the bacteria and stuff like that out, microorganisms, whatever. One way to do that, instead of burning up your little canteen here, which is plastic, takes a little bit longer, but if you got a source of clay, you can dig a fire pit and line it with clay and harden it with a fire, and then dig you another one, make it the same way for a fire, and clean the other one out, make you a fire in this one over here, and you can literally put your water in there and bring it to a boil in the ground there like that. After that clay's been fired and hardened, it'll be just like a cup, pottery, cup or anything. So, some water. He said he wasn't ready for none yet. Yeah, he is too. Down here, still humid, not as hot. Everything just sticks to you. You sweat constantly, even though you're cool because of the shade. So, down here in the south, that's a real bad place to be without having some kind of rehydration. Every now and then we'll take a little sip out of this. We don't guzzle it, and we share it, and then we put it up for later. As you can see, I think I have a little pouch on me. This was for a shovel, but I got the shovel in my trapping kit, so I use it to carry a few things. Some insect repellent. I know that's not primitive, but we don't have very much insect repellent naturally around here. A little bit of wax myrtle here and there, but you really gotta find a swampy area. This is a ferro rod, big ferro rod. It's a backup ferro rod too. My normal ferro rod that I use is on my knife here, one you see in most of my demonstrations and stuff. A little bit of fat wood, an extra striker, and a round fire kit that has flint and steel, char cloth, matches, flammable fire starter, natural fire starter and tinder, cotton and Vaseline, magnifying glass, several different ways to have fire here. So if I lose any one of my ways to make fire, I got a backup. And so, you know, got all that in that little pouch here. Real easy to tote it that way. One little stick of fat wood. This little stick of fat wood go a long ways. A lot of people don't believe that, but if you want a one stick fire, right here you go. You can use all of it at once, especially like right now it's wet. You're not going to find a whole lot of tinder except for, you know, stuff like this that's hanging up high. This is pretty dry. Like Cody says, you hear that snap, you know it's dry. There's other forms of tinder, like I said, the river birch are you know, very plentiful here. So grab some of that on the way in. But this little stick here can go a long way. If you're lost in the woods or you're hurt, can't get out of the woods, this right here will start a whole lot of fires for you if you just shave some of the dust off and use other tinder that you fire to help that out. You can make a little stick like this last a little while. You know, if you got a plentiful supply of it, or you're going over here and breaking it off of an old dead tree, keep this little stick in your pouch, you know, and use what's out here. This is for emergencies, but you know, when you're living primitive, or you're trying to living off the grid or something like that, you don't want to use your emergency supplies up. Even if you are lost, you want to use what's right here. And this right here is for when you can't find anything else, or you lose something or whatever. So when you're out here in the woods or wilderness or the bush, whatever you'd like to call it, you know, pay attention to things. Pay attention to your needs. Carry your needs with you first instead of your wants. You know, we don't have a lot of high-tech gear. A lot of it we grabbed on the way in here. Basic tools, backup tools, necessities. Carry the things with you that you got to have. We sell these little Altoid 10 survival kits. Some of them are fire kits, like this one here. Some of them have a few more things than other ones do, but you can make these up yourself. You don't have to buy one. Get, you know, a lot of things that I put in my kits are stuff I get out of the drawers at the house. I don't necessarily have to order anything. But we do sell these for those of you who can't get the things that is required. And one of the things that we're fixing to start introducing into our survival kits, especially the fire kits, are some little magnifying glasses. They fold out and everything. Keep in mind that this isn't the primitive part of it. This is survival. You know, I mean, there are some people out there, they cannot live primitive, and we're going to do some discussion on primitive things here too, and we'll try to get out and do some more videos for you guys. I got a place now I can kind of do it in the woods and stuff, so you know, I'm going to try to do some more primitive things too, not just survival, but you know, primitive survival, primitive living. Anyway, we have a ferro rod. It's about the same size as a cigarette. Got a little friend coming down here. Little spider. This one here happens to have, you know, just a little cheap blade, but a blade nonetheless. A couple of sticks of good old Mississippi fatwood. bumblebee just came by looking at us. Got a miniature compass. You can take that compass and sit it down somewhere where you can get it to sit flat. And it's not going to do it on here. Let's see about right here. It's not going to work there neither, but I got metal in my hand and there's a metal fence under there, so I would have to get out away from it. And now it's pointing north. North is that way. So you got a little compass here. And got a little steel wool, which you can take the fat wood and the knife and scrape like that right there, and scrape a lot of that dust off in that steel wool, and then use the knife and the ferro rod to get your fire. So it's a pretty complete little kit. Like I said, you also got a magnifying glass, which can be used for several different things, not just starting fire. You might have a plant that you really need to take a close-up look at to see something in detail about it, or a bug, you know, and you might need to examine it. Who knows? Maybe a track that you really need to, I don't know, you know, just whatever you might have to have something like that for. And like I said, this is one of the survival things, so it's not necessarily primitive, but you know, it's just for the people who like to kick it every now and then out in the outdoors and don't really, you know, they're not really interested in living out here, and that's okay. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm not one of those people that, you know, if you use a big lighter, you know, I'm not gonna bash you because you take a big lighter into the woods. I got mine. Yeah, I'm not like that. But I like doing things primitive because it keeps me up on my skills. I'm trying to teach my family here. This is my wife, Savannah. Say hey, Savannah. This is my little boy, Jason Jr. He's playing with some sticks right now and trying to find Gary the snail everywhere. I mean, you know, getting them out here in the outdoors and letting them have some fun. We're doing something as a family, teaching him and her a few skills. You know, just enjoying things basically. You know, it's cooler down here in the woods, even with the humidity. It's cooler down here than it is up there on the hills. So we're not very far from my house. You know, it's not like, you know, I'm not in a position to be living primitively like I used to, but, you know, say hey everybody. You want to be safe when you go out and outdoors, even if you're just doing something as innocent as this. You get a snake bite down here very easily if you're not watching what you're doing. You're in trouble if you get a snake bite and you're too far down here and can't get back to the house quick enough, or, you know, when it bit you, you fell over a stump or a log and broke your leg. You got absolutely no materials with you, no water, no cell phone. You know, absolutely nothing. You're in for a tough ride to get back to society. You don't know what to do. You know, so get these skill sets in you. We're going to try to start putting out some videos to teach you how to build shelter, water filtration systems, water irrigation systems, things that you could do out here with very minimum amount of tools. You know, just simple little tricks, like, you know, if you're going a long way and you know you're gonna be camping a few nights and stuff, you know, you got your walking stick, plus you got a stick that you can, you know, reach around a tree and see if there's a snake around there. And you know, when it comes nighttime, you got tinder. You can take your knife and scrape that, make a real good fluff, and it'll literally dry out if it's moist like it is right now. The more you rub it and put heat to it, that friction will dry that moisture out of there, and you'll have you some working tinder. I'm just going to kind of pan around now with the camera, kind of show you the spot a little bit. I'm going to build a shelter sort of right back over here for a video. When I'm done with that, I'll tear it down and build another one, but this is a little spot. It's a nice little spot. You know, it may not be the ideal spot for survival, but it's the ideal spot for me to build a shelter. There's enough area here that's already open for me to build, you know, 1 or 2 person survival shelter. So that's going to be my first objective, is doing that. And then we're going to get into you know, a series of shelters, different kind of shelters and everything. And as we progress through this and we get get the shelter thing over with, then we're going to look at building more like a camp style. How would you set your camp up if you were living primitively out here? You know, where would be your shelter? Where would be your bathroom? Where would be your where you get your water at? Where would you get your wood at? I mean, it's all around you, but you know, you don't want to go cutting green trees down. You want to get wood that's already dead and laying around, and there's plenty of it around here, so you're going to get that at first. But you know, sooner or later you're going to burn all this up. You're going to have to go out and find more. So you know, you got to have to look at all those aspects, and living out here is a lot different than us just coming out here and having us a heyday. You have to do your chores or you die. You don't, it's not playtime out here when you're living here. You're down here, you know you're going home. There's a lot of aspects. There's a lot of mental aspects to this, you know. The further you get from society, you start to break down. You start to become wild, literally. You start living under different rules and stuff, because out here in where no one else lives, there, you know, you got rules, but your mind, after so long of being out here, and you have to struggle with this, you know, tells you, well, I'm free. I'm completely free. I can do whatever I want with no circumstances. And you have to battle with stuff like that. But when you live in primitive, the biggest thing is if you're going to live primitive, you need people around you. You need to keep that close tie to society. Doing it solo is really hard. Trust me, I've done it twice. It wasn't just a breeze, but you know, there was a lot of mental leaps and bounds I had to get over to do it. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna try to get the videos back up more like I used to have them. You know, 1 or 2 a week or so. Maybe do some classes down in here where you can, you know, ask questions, or maybe you want to see me do something in specifics, or you want, you know, maybe you ask, is there a certain type of plant around there that you could show me and video it, you know, let me get a good look of it, stuff like that. I mean, I'm out to teach people and, you know, share knowledge, learn things that I don't know. That's what it's all about down here. So I'm gonna let y'all go, and like I said, I'm gonna kind of pan around here and just kind of show you the area right quick, and then I'm gonna get off here. Hope you enjoy this video. and hopefully we'll be able to have more up here pretty soon. Right here is pretty much where I'm gonna do my shelter building videos, because like I said, it's already kind of cleared out, flat, and I can, you know, there's plenty of area for me to set up cameras and stuff and get different angles for you guys and everything. So, you know, it may be a little slow go, but you know, I'll be like Survivor, man, walking through here and stuff with my camera. It's gonna be fun. And like I said, I took a year off to kind of learn a new skill, which was blacksmithing. Just now kind of getting a little bit of time back from that, and like I said, got a little spot where I can kind of do something and you know, not really be bothered by anybody. I'm not on public land, so stay on this side of the fence, but that's somebody else's property. Anyway, this is Jason Rope with Primitive Life Training. Hope you enjoy.